Well, hello friends, and welcome to episode 25, the silver anniversary of Cocktails for a Crisis. It's been a tough day in the lab. I was trying to put together something special for you. A couple of my friends liked the Aviation, this purple concoction, and I tried it and I just didn't like it, so I need to play around with it to see if I can make one that I actually like to drink. I tried to mix some things together just to sort of come up with something, and then it occurred to me that I just didn't really feel like making up something today, and I couldn't figure out a cocktail that I wanted to make. And part of that is because my back went out on Thursday, so my cocktail of choice has been metaxalone, my favorite muscle relaxer. I topped that off with some hydrocodone yesterday, and that really was about as good as any cocktail as I've ever made. But of course, I've stopped taking the muscle relaxers because you never ever want to mix muscle relaxers and liquor. I did that once, I'll never do that again. So friends, don't ever mix muscle relaxers and liquor. So the last one I had was at 6 o'clock this morning, so it's out of my bloodstream. And the other thing that occurred to me, and it may seem like I've had muscle relaxers and alcohol, but I haven't. The thing that occurred to me today is the weather has turned in Kentucky. It's a little bit cooler, and when it turns cool, I like to drink the dark liquors. I like to just drink them straight. And so I thought I would talk a little bit about Scotch whiskey tonight. As you can tell, I really like Scotch whiskey. My dad, you've heard me talking about my dad some, he liked drinking Dewar's, which is a blended Scotch whiskey that's fine. But I really like the single malts. I've gotten into the single malts. I'm at the Scotch Club here in Bowling Green, and we try some good ones and share the, yeah, I know it's a very snooty club. Erika's making a snooty face right now. And I've got to try some stuff that I would not have been able to afford. But one of the best vacations of my life, except for my honeymoon, of course, was going to Islay in Scotland, going to Scotland with my friends Dave and Eric. And Islay has some of the best Scotch whiskeys you'll ever have in your life. Probably my favorite whiskey I've ever had is the Caol 18, which you can't get over here. It's smoky, peaty goodness. The Caol 12 is one that you can get over here, and it's really good. I highly recommend that one. We had a great walk up to the Bunnahabhain distillery on Islay. That's my friend Eric's favorite, I think. Lefroy was where we had our big tour. And we saw the whole process there, and this is a great, for the money, friends, if you like the smoky peaty stuff, you can't beat the Lefroy. If you're just starting out with Scotch, I recommend that one. And then Bowmore, we stayed in the town of Bowmore, and they make Bowmore Scotch there. It's a great one. This is probably the most expensive bottle of whiskey I've ever had in my life. My friends in the English department gave me that when I left them. It was just sort of hoping that I wouldn't come back, I think. And then I bought this Lefroy. Eric and Dave and I each got our own special bottle of Lefroy. They gave us 3 that we could try. All 3 of us picked this sherry cask one, and because I'm much thriftier than Dave and Eric, I still have some of mine. So anyway, I love Scotch. Those are all the Islas that I showed you there. My brother Bill gave me this great Glenmorangie Quinta Reuben cask. It's a really delicious one that he gave me for Christmas. And then my friend Ted gave me some Japanese whiskey, which is really good. Nika coffee, malt whiskey, Japanese whiskey's great. But what I thought I would do is just have a little taste here. Talister's a great one. They make it on the Isle of Skye. And my cousin, Mike Leach, and my other cousin, they're married, Lynn Leach, they're not cousins together, but you know what I mean. They gave me this bottle of Talisker just out of the blue at Christmas because they know I like Scotch. And I've been thinking of Mike and Lynn. Lynn had some surgery and is doing well. I understand it. So I thought I'd have a little of this Talisker, which is really delicious. It's kind of smoky peaty, but it's, like I said, it's from the Isle of Skye. It's not from Islay, which is where all of my favorites are. And so when you drink Scotch, you don't have to have a fancy Glencairn glass like this one, although you can. But I get as much pleasure out of smelling this stuff, well, almost as much pleasure out of smelling this stuff as I do drinking it. Erika makes fun of me because whenever I make the cocktails, if you go back and look, you'll see that I almost always smell every bottle I open. But this Talisker, oh, it is yummy. So I'm going to taste this one. Ooh, that is good. That is really good. And I'm really grateful to Mike and Lynn for giving me that one. So I recommend Talisker a lot. The other thing you can do, and this is what my friend Erika got into, if you want to bring out the flavor a little bit, one of the things we ran into when we took our trip was they have all these little eyedropper things. And if you just put a few drops of water in there, it really opens up the flavors. So that's another thing you might try to do. The other thing I like to do sometimes, and this is all really radical stuff that I'm saying. I'm just going to use my hands because I'm not sharing this with anybody. Just put a few rocks in a glass like that. And what do I want to try? I think I'm going to try this one my brother Bill gave me, this Glenmorangie. Keep the cask. Just pour a little over ice like that in a regular glass. You can let it mix it around a little bit. Oh, look at that color on there. Oh, beautiful. That's a little bit sweeter. The Glenmorangie tends to be a little bit sweeter, a little bit hotter. The ones I'll usually drink are those smoky peaty ones there. So anyway, I've babbled on long enough. It's probably all that time I spent in the lab and trying to figure out which ones I was going to taste here. So here's to another week, 25 weeks of this, and I can't believe we've been doing this for 25 weeks. And tell me when to stop. Tell me when you've had enough. We may be close. I think we're close, David Timmerman. We're probably close. But anyway, thanks to all of you for watching. Thanks for 25 weeks. Wear your mask, stay safe, and here's to all of you friends. Love you.